to them a mighty theme.
And he spoke to them, saying, Of this theme that I have declared to you, I will now that ye make in harmony together a great music.
Then the voices of the Ainur, like unto harps and lutes and pipes and trumpets, and like unto viols and organs, and countless choirs singing with words, began to fashion the theme of Iluvatar.
And the music went out into the void, and it was not void.
But as the theme progressed, it came into the heart of Morgoth, the cleverest of the Ainur, to interweave matters of his own imagining.
Morgoth's music became discordant, and many that sang near him grew disturbed, and their music faltered.
The discord of Morgoth spread ever wider, and the melodies which had been heard before foundered in a sea of turbulent sound.
Iluvatar arose, raising up his left hand, smiling. A new theme began amid the storm, and it gathered power and had new beauty.
But Morgoth's din rose in uproar and contended with it, and there was a war of sound more violent than before.
Iluvatar arose again, with a stern countenance, raising up his right hand. Behold, a third theme grew amid the confusion, and it was unlike the others. It seemed soft
there were two musics
and sweet,
progressing at one time.
and they were rippling
the seat of
sounds
Iluvatar.
and gentle
They were utterly at
melodies.
variance.
Iluvatar arose a third time, and his face was terrible to behold.
He raised up both his hands, and in one chord,
Deeper than the abyss,
higher than the firmament,
piercing as the light of his eyes,
the music
ceased. Well, catch up, Ronald. Don't make me carry you, because you know I will. Here's a nice place. Isn't it beautiful?
It's nice.
The grass smells so fresh. I love the smell of fresh grass after rain.
Lovely.
Up the west end, that's the east end, where the nightclubs thrive. Down into a dive you go. There's exactly Caesar has been.
Shall I bring out the wine?
I'll have a little.
Certainly not a vintage year, but it will have to do. To sunshine.
To you, my Danubia.
What's it mean?
Nightingale,
I like it.
Cinderin,
Huh?
Elvish.
Oh. Well, it's sweet. Isn't it nice to be outside, under the sun?
It's nice.
To singing and dancing. Won't you join?
I'd rather watch.
Suit yourself.
Wait,
What?
I have an idea.
What is it?
For a story. Can we go home? I'm missing my pen.
We just got here.
Edith, this is important.
What's its name? What's its name?
I don't know. Can we go?
Tell me the name first.
Doesn't have a name yet.
Well, make one up then.
Just make up a name. It takes time.
Okay. So, how does it start then?
Edith. In a glade.
Really? And what happens in this glade?
Well, a man sees an elf dancing.
Okay.
And he falls in love with her.
That's it?
For now, yes.
Well, why does he fall in love with her?
I don't know. Because as she dances, he sees all the way through her. She is strong, but delicate, beautiful, but sad.
What was the man thinking?
He was thinking he'd like to go home and write down the story.
It took me ages to get you out of the house. And the minute we get here, you just want to go back up to our room.
I've had enough. It's too hot and I'm all sweaty, and if I don't write this down, it'll be lost forever.
Okay, fine. We can go home.
Okay, thank
After you tell me the man's name.
you. Edith. Okay, fine. The man's name was Beren.
Beren?
B-E-R-E-N.
Beren. And when Beren saw the elf dancing, what was he thinking?
He was surprised.
That's it?
That's it.
Anything else?
When he saw her dance, all memory of his pain departed from him, and he fell into an enchantment. For Luthien was the most beautiful of all the children of Iluvatar.
Luthien.
That's her name.
Beautiful.
Okay, time to go.
No!
Yes, yes.
No, I want to know what happens next.
And you will in due time. Edith.
I want to know the rest.
I don't know the rest.
Well, make it up then.
We've already been over this. That's not how it works.
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it works.
I mean right now. I can't just make it up all of a sudden. It takes time.
Okay. Then I will.
Yeah.
Beren saw Luthien dancing, and he joined in.
No,
Yes.
that is just completely wrong.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Well, I'm telling the story, and I think it's right. Beren started dancing and singing and jumping and
Beren
laughing.
saw Luthien dance, and his lips turned to stone. Blue was her raiment, as the unclouded heaven. But her eyes were gray as a starlit evening. He reached out and whispered to Nuvia, for that was her name to him. But she vanished from his sight.
She leaves?
Yes, and now we are going to do the same.
No, I want to know the rest.
I don't know the rest.
I'll start telling it again.
Don't. I mean it.
Luthien vanished, and then,
Edith,
and
I need to
then...
be alone for a minute. I need time to think.
Why? We only just got here. Can we just spend some time together, talk?
We talk.
No, we don't. You haven't talked since you got back.
I talk.
No, you don't. You might look in my direction while I talk. You might nod in agreement from time to time, but you're not actually seeing me. You're seeing past me like I'm hollow. Like I'm hardly there, and I'm talking all the while.
I could forget it.
Really? While you're talking about it? I find that hard to believe. Please, just a little longer, and then I promise we can go home.
Okay. Where were we?
Luthien vanished.
When Luthien disappeared, Beren became silent, as one that is bound under a spell. And he strayed long in the woods, wild and wary as a beast, searching for her. There came a time near dawn on the eve of spring, and Luthien danced upon a green hill. Then the spell of silence fell from Beren, and he called to her, crying, "Tenuvia!" Luthien halted and fled no more, and Beren came to her. But as she looked on him, doom fell upon her, and she loved him. Yet she slipped from his arms and vanished from his sight, even as the day was breaking. Then Beren lay upon the ground as one in swoon, slain at once by bliss and grief, and he fell into a sleep as it were an abyss of shadow.
I have a question.
What?
Why did you say doom?
When?
When Luthien realized she loved Beren, you said doom fell upon her.
Because Beren is a man,
And
Luthien is an elf.
still not following.
When God created the elves, he made them immortal, so that they could be caretakers of Middle-earth, their world.
So this world has a god.
Yes, Eru Iluvatar. But when God created men, he gave them the gift of mortality.
I don't know. Sounds more like a curse to me.
It's a gift and a curse. Men are not tied to the world. Elves have no choice.
So Beren will leave.
And Luthien must stay.
Okay. So, Beren and Luthien fall in love. Do they meet again?
Beyond his hope, Luthien returned to Beren where he lay in the darkness. She took his hand and led him in secret to the throne of Thingol, her father, king of the elf city Menegroth. Upon seeing Beren enter his hall, Thingol grew angry and scornful. "Who are you that come hither as a thief, and unbidden dare to approach my throne?" Then Beren, filled with dread, answered nothing.
But Luthien spoke, saying, "He is Beren, lord of men, mighty foe of
Morgoth.
And then, yep, him. He is Beren, lord of men, mighty foe of Morgthar.
Morgoth.
That's what I said. And he has come.
Let Beren speak! For what cause have you left your own land to enter this one, which is forbidden to your kind? Why should I not punish you for your insolence and folly? Then Beren, looking up, beheld the eyes of Luthien. Fear left him, and it seemed to him that words were put into his mouth. "My fate, O king, led me hither, through perils such as few even of the elves would dare. And here I have found what I sought not indeed, but finding would possess forever, for it is above all gold and beyond all jewels. Neither rock, nor steel, nor the fires of Morgoth, nor all the powers of the elf kingdom shall keep me from the treasure that I desire. For Luthien, your daughter, is the fairest of all the children of the world. Death you have earned with these words, and death you should find suddenly, had not my daughter led you here willingly. Death you can give me, earned or unearned. I perceive that you are proud, son of Beren, here, and deem yourself mighty. See now, I too desire a treasure that is withheld. Bring to me in your hand a silmaril from Morgoth's crown. Then, if she will, my daughter may set her hand in yours. Then you shall have my jewel. For little price do elven kings sell their daughters. When I return, My hand shall hold a Silmaril from the iron crown of Morgoth, for you have not looked the last upon Beren, son of Barahir.
Wait, is this a war story?
No. It's a love story.
Who's Morgoth, then?
Well, he's an Ainur, sort of like an angel. But when the other Ainur sang all of creation into being, Morgoth sang his own dark chords. Because of this, he created all sorts of evil creatures.
So he's like the devil, then?
In a way, yeah.
Okay, and what does Beren have to steal from him?
A Silmaril. One of the 3 jewels that the elf craftsman Feanor imbued with the light of the 2 trees before they were destroyed. He swore an oth of vengeance on any who tried to possess.
So Beren is going to war, then?
No.
Really? Because going to an evil angel's lair to retrieve a precious jewel that so-and-so swore an oath of vengeance upon sounds an awful lot like war to me.
In order to marry Luthien, so it's a love story.
Your stories used to make me smile and laugh and imagine little fairy feet pitter-pattering down my shoulder, and now this is all you write: death and destruction, war. Haven't you had enough of it?
This isn't about war, it's about love. Beren has to get the Silmaril so that he can be with Luthien. It's a means to an end.
And when you left for war?
What about it?
Was it for me?
Edith.
I thought I'd never see you again. When you were on the Somme, I sat down and prayed to any god I could think of to bring you back. Even Eru, Illuminator, would have made my list. And then you did come back. You were so frail when I visited you in that hospital bed, the slightest breeze could have broken you, but I thought, back with me, finally. But I don't think it was really you that came back.
Edith, it is me. I promise it is me.
Tell me a happy story.
I can't.
Then how can I know it's you?
I know we've never talked about my time away. I'm sorry. I've tried to tell you what I saw and how I missed you, but something stopped me. Edith, I can't bring myself to write about fairy feet anymore.
Okay.
I'll make it as happy as it can be.
Okay. And I'll help.
Silently.
We'll see.
Beren left Luthien behind. Many miles northward lay Angband, but before it lay the plain of Nargothrond. Upon that plain, the elves of Nargothrond kept unceasing watch. Their arrows were sure and deadly, and nothing crept there against their will. Beren felt that he was watched, and he called out, saying, I am Beren, son of Barahir, friend of Felagund. Take me to the king.
Wait. Who are all of these people? Did you make this story up already?
No, it's more like reconstructing.
Okay, so what about the names?
Angband,
Uh-huh.
that's Morgoth's fortress.
Okay, and
Felagund, he's an elf. He's king of Nargothrond,
Okay,
and he's Beren's friend.
so they know each other.
Well, he knew Beren's father.
So that makes them friends?
Well, no, but he did swear an oath to protect Beren when he was born, so it's a kind of friendship.
Okay, continue.
Beren enters the hall and sees the king, Finrod Felagund. Felagund speaks to Beren with a heavy heart. He is very sad about Beren's journey.
Wait. Don't just tell me what's happening. Show me. Like what you did with Thinghold.
Thinghold.
That's what I said.
Right, okay. Beren enters Nargothrond cautiously. He sees Felagund sitting on his throne. Felagund, you do not know me now, though you did when I was a babe. My name is Beren, son of Barahir, and I come in search of aid.
Are we rhyming now?
It has been many years since a man has graced our hall, yet longer still do the oaths of elves hold strong. I remember your father. He was a brave man and honest. Whatever aid we can offer will be given. Yet tell me, what trouble brings you before us? A fortnight ago, I wandered in the fair fields of Doriath.
And then he tells the king what happened, and then the king says,
It is plain that Thingol desires your death, but it seems this doom goes beyond his purpose, and that the curse of Feanor is again
the curse
at
of
work.
what?
Feanor. He made the Silmarillion, remember?
Okay, sure. So the curse?
Well, he swore an oath of vengeance on any who tried to possess them beside his kin.
Okay. It did.
And now, two of Feanor's sons, Celegorm and Curufin, are dwelling in my hall. I fear they will show neither love nor mercy to you if your quest be told.
Just then, the two elven brothers, what were their names?
Edith,
Yes.
what are you doing?
Joining in. What were the two elven brothers' names?
Celegorm and Curufin.
Just then, Cauliflower and Cranberry enter the hall. They see Beren standing before their king and are disgusted. What's that horrible stench, says Celegorm. Yeah, smells awful in here, says Curry Man. Who let this stinky, ugly, disgusting man in here? That's your cue.
I did.
You? You are?
I am Felagin, your king. I am lord of this hall, and I say who may enter and who may not. This man is Beren, and he has come to me with a grave quest.
Has he now? And what is it, pray tell?
My quest is to steal the Silmaril from Morgoth's crown.
Is that so? Says Celegorm.
Celegorm and Curufin, I beg you to see the common goal that
I will die before I let a man stain a Silmaril with his polluted touch, says Celegorm. Yeah, me too, says Curufin. Keep going.
Felagin consents the brothers can be convinced.
Nope, we can't be convinced.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Are you sure you're sure?
Yes, and if this man dares lay hands upon our treasure, neither you, nor man, nor any elf man or beast will stop our vengeance.
Very well. Your oaths of faith to me you may break, but I must hold my bond. I will go with Beren to Angband through all peril and strife.
Celegorm and Curufin.
Celegorm and Curufin say nothing, but they smile and go from the hall. On that autumn evening, Beren and Felagin set from Nargothrond.
Wait, what about Luthien?
What about her?
Where is she?
In Menegroth with her father. Where else would she be?
She's not going to follow Beren?
Why would she?
To help him?
Not really sure how she plans on doing that.
Really? Because it feels like Beren could use all the help he can get.
Well, I don't think she'd be much use in a fight.
So Beren is going to have to fight.
Probably, yes.
So it is a war story.
You don't have to get back into this.
And
again.
what? You think women can't fight?
Didn't see any on the Somme.
You don't think we would have fought if we could have?
Sure, you would have tried, and it would have been a great waste of life.
Like it wasn't already? You know, how do you know women couldn't
You
have
don't
done
have any
just
idea what
as
you're
well?
talking about.
Yeah, how could I possibly
Woman
have
wouldn't
any
have
idea?
lasted a minute.
Yeah, but
in
how do
France.
you know
Because I
that?
was there, Edith.
Maybe you never left.
What?
What?
What did you say?
Nothing.
Edith?
Nothing. I was just talking to myself, that's all.
Beren and Felagin left Nargothrond as night fell. Soon, grass at their feet turned to mud, and the air became foul beyond measure. Sweet smell of decay. The place was rotten with dead. Green, clumsy legs, high-booted, sprawled and groveled along the saps. And trunks, face downward in the sucking mud, wallowed like trodden sandbags loosely filled, and naked, sodden buttocks, massive hair, bulged, clotted heads, slept in the plastering slime.
Did you write that?
No. Another soldier did.
But you were there. Where are they?
It's called the Waste. It had another name once.
Wasn't always this way?
No, it used to be beautiful. Green hills, clear streams.
What happened?
War.
You're right. I can't understand what it was like. Would you like to continue?
After passing through the Waste, Beren and Luthien journeyed north. But to Yehle, the Prince of Cats, espied them from his tower.
To Yehle?
Yes, Prince of Cats.
All right.
What?
Nothing.
What's wrong with the Yehle?
Nothing. To Yehle. I was just surprised, that's all.
Okay. To Yehle is
What does To Yehle look like?
like a giant cat, I suppose.
Okay. Is that supposed to be scary?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't act like you wouldn't be scared of a giant cat.
Giant cat.
Like a tiger.
Okay, I'm just not sure that To Yehle will produce the desired effect.
Well, what would produce the desired effect?
A wizard. A cruel and powerful wizard whose mind has been twisted.
A necromancer.
A necromancer. Anyways, while his name is Sauron. Sauron. And as Sauron espies Felagund and Ronald from his tower, Luthien is pining away.
Wait a second. I'm telling the story.
No, we are telling the story, and it is my turn. Luthien knows the danger that Beren is in, but she has no way to warn him, and her father won't let her pass the gates of Menegraw. She waits in her tower day after day in agony.
Lives in a cave.
Her cave tower day after day in agony. She lets her hair grow to a great length.
This sounds strangely familiar.
She cuts off her hair and from it weaves a dark robe. Upon it, she places an enchantment of sleep. The next night, she steals out of her room. The guards see her, but she dons her cloak, and they fall into a fast slumber. She steals from her family's home into the night, and no one sees her. Dark against dark. What do you think?
I'm impressed.
Oh, you are so condescending.
What? I mean it. It was good.
Mm-hmm.
Really, it was good. I liked it.
We can get back to your part if you like.
I'm curious to learn more about Luthien.
Really?
I'd like to hear what happens next.
Okay. Let's see. Luthien flies brothers, what were their names?
Kelegorm
and Curvin are out for a hunt. Their dog catches her scent. But he is no ordinary dog. He is, in fact, a great hound, descendant from the gods.
The Ainur.
The Ainur. And his name was...
Huon. It means great hound.
Is that also Mandarin?
Sindarin. And yes, but it means dog in Quenya as well.
Huon was born by the Ainur. And when he was born, it was decreed that he was not a normal hound. It was decided that his fate would be brought upon him by the greatest wolf that walked the world.
Okay.
And he could talk!
Okay.
Huon brings Luthien to his masters, Kelegorm and Curvin.
What have you brought us, loyal Huon? Looks like a sneaky thief to me.
I am no thief.
A woman, all alone in the woods. Something bad could happen. Have no fear. No harm will befall you here. I am Kelegorm, son of Feanor, and this is my brother Curufin. What is your name?
I will hide myself no longer. I am Luthien, daughter of Fingal.
Once she removes her cloak, Kelegorm and Curufin gaze on her beauty and become enamored of her. They scheme to take her to Nargothrond, their home. Little elf princess, out for a stroll in the dark. A bit far from home, aren't we?
I have left in search of a man, Beren. He is in danger.
I have not heard before of any Beren, man or elf, but I promise you, sweet lady, whatever my brother and I can do to aid you, you need only ask.
Thank you. Your kindness to me will not be forgotten.
So hasty to be off again. Why not stay a while with us?
I don't think you understand. I need
My
to...
brother is trying to say is that we would be happy to escort you as far as Nargothrond. It is on the path you must take.
Thank you. I would be most appreciative of your company. However, Luthien is betrayed.
Once she removes her cloak, Kelegorm and Curufin take her to Nargothrond.
Upon her arrival, they take her cloak from her and lock her in the walls. She is unable to speak to anyone save the two brothers.
They plan to let Felagund and Beren perish.
And to force Thingol to give Luthien over to Kelegorm in marriage.
But Huon the Hound is true of heart. He often comes to Luthien's chamber and lays down at her door.
Oh, Huon, I am lonely.
Huon replied,
But
Luthien!
But Huon said nothing, as he was only permitted to speak 3 times before his death. I am lonely, Huon. My love has gone away. Did you ever love Huon? I'd advise against it. It's really more work than it's worth. And the person will inevitably end up disappointing you because, well, they're not you and they make decisions that you would never make. And even though you were right, they'll never admit it because, well, they're a different person. Am I making any sense? Dogs are better than men.
Though he was only permitted to speak thrice before his death, Huon could no longer contain himself.
Luthien, I am grieved to hear of your plight. Allow me to right my master's wrongs and help you escape. Follow me now. I will lead you out of this hall.
And then Huon led Luthien through the secret passageways out of the hall, and they fled north. Huon even let her ride upon his back like a steed. Good one. They made great haste as Huon was swift and tireless. Oh! Hey.
What?
I thought you were my valiant steed.
My back hurts. I want to tell Beren's part.
Okay. Where did you leave off?
To Vieldo.
Sauron
sends his warriors to waylay Beren and Felagund and takes them captive. They are brought before Sauron, bound and bleeding. He is elegant, fair, and surprisingly elf-like. He sweeps before Beren and Luthien and looks them in the eye, dangerously.
Why are you here?
We were brought here by your soldiers.
Ah, very good. Well, if you can't answer the question properly...
Suddenly, Sauron claps his hands. A werewolf enters, gnawing on a human leg.
Really?
He's a villain. He's got to be villainous.
Villainous, huh?
Why are you here?
We were brought here by your soldiers.
Oh, yes, very good. If you can't answer the question properly, I'll have my werewolf tear you limb from limb.
We are on a quest.
That's better. What kind of quest?
We are searching for something.
What?
A jewel.
A jewel? What kind of jewel?
I will say no more.
Then you leave me no choice. The werewolf pounced on Beren!
But Felagund intercepted it, and they fell fighting.
But the werewolf went for Felagund's throat!
Felagund gained the advantage. He held the werewolf's jaws in his hands.
His hand slipped!
No, they didn't slip.
It did, it slipped!
No, it didn't.
It did!
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did! The werewolf tore
the hell,
Felagund's
Edith?
throat out!
You can't just kill a character.
I'm pretty sure I just did.
This isn't even your story.
Yes, it is.
Okay, fine. Fine. Beren looks at Sauron, and then the werewolf leaps.
Suddenly, Luthien
What are you
burst
doing?
into the hall!
The werewolf leaps
Luthien
at Beren.
burst into the hall with Huon on her heels!
The werewolf leaps at Beren.
Luthien sings, and the werewolf stops in its tracks.
Sauron claps, and Luthien goes mute.
Huon knocks the werewolf to the ground and leaps at
Sauron
Sauron.
claps, and the werewolf is frozen in mid-track.
Luthien dons her cloak. Sauron's focus breaks,
Sauron
and
claps.
Huon bounces on Sauron, pinning him under his paw.
Sauron claps.
Luthien said, "Flail all you will. You cannot loose yourself unless you would forsake your body utterly. Yield me this tower, or if not, I will strip off your raiment of flesh, and you shall return to your master as a quaking ghost. Thereafter, your naked self shall endure the torment of his scorn."
I yield. Then Beren saw the naked, torn flesh of his friend lying in the dirt. A fury engulfed him, hotter than any fire, sharper than any blade. He remembered the faces of all those he had lost, murdered, savaged by his enemy. He rushed to his enemy, and his hands closed around his throat. Screaming, empty, unbelieving, the faces of the dead flashed and flashed before his eyes, and his hands tightened their grip. His enemy thrashed and convulsed under him, but his rage was too strong. He wanted to inflict the damage done to him. Damage so deep and wordless that he could not name it. His enemy squealed. Wrath came from his eyes. Tears streamed from them, but he did not relinquish his grip, but tightened it, ever tighter, tighter and tighter. His enemy's eyes rolled up in his
I
head.
came here to kill him.
To do ill. Edith.
You fell.
Oh.
I was worried. Ronald.
Please,
I think that
Edith,
we...
come in.
Ronald, you were moving. For God's sakes, I don't think telling these stories is good for your health.
Edith, please.
No. I pushed you today, and I shouldn't have. I'm sorry.
Edith, I need to finish the story.
Why?
What do you mean, why? You were the one who wanted
Yes,
to
and
tell
look
it.
what happened! You collapsed on the grass! I shouldn't have let you go on thinking about war. All night you dream it, all day you dwell on it. Your well-being isn't worth some meaningless story.
It's meaningless.
Yes, it is. It's just a silly war story.
Love story. It's a love story.
I think it's going to kill you.
Luthien gathered herbs from the forest and healed Beren's wounds.
Ronald?
2 nights and days they spent together, but Beren's heart was torn between his oath and his love.
Please.
Knowing Luthien to be safe, he rose one morning before the sun and departed while she had slept upon the grass.
Ronald, no.
Then, being alone and upon the threshold of the final peril, he sang a song of parting, for he believed he must now say farewell to love and life. Farewell, sweet earth and northern sky, forever blessed, since here did lie. And here with lissom limbs did run beneath the moon, beneath the sun. Luthien Tinuviel, more fair than mortal tongue can tell. Though all to ruin fell, the world and word is oft and backward hurled, unmade into the old abyss, yet were its making good for this. The dusk, the dawn, the earth, the sea, that Luthien for a time should be.
You sang.
Yeah. Sorry.
Why did you sing?
Because I thought Beren would. And because I wanted to.
Why would Beren sing?
Beren sings when he's hopeless.
And you?
When I'm hopeless, I imagine.
I don't really think the story is meaningless. It's not meaningless.
Can we keep telling?
Yes, of course.
Beren is leaving Luthien. Luthien, I must go.
No. Come back with me to my father's. I will tell him what has happened, and he will apologize for his hasty words.
I will not forsake my oath, dear father. I know in my heart he will not let you wed me.
Then we will not return. We can make our home elsewhere, amongst the trees, amongst the birds. The grass will be our beds, the canopy our ceiling.
You know I must go.
Then I will come with you.
It is too dangerous.
You will have to bind my legs because he will follow you.
Thrice now I curse my oath to Thingol, and I would that he had slain me in Managroth rather than I should bring you under the shadow of Morgoth.
You do not bring me. I come of my own will.
I know.
I know you know.
I would not see you harmed.
It's you I'm worried about.
I'll be fine.
Together, Beren and Luthien journeyed through deadly peril, until at last they came upon the gates of
Angband. Black chasms fall on either side of the road, and the forms of writhing serpents can be seen at their distant bottoms.
Great cliffs rise on either side of the gate. Upon them, vultures cry out with fell voices.
Caw, caw! Before them is the impregnable gate, wide and dark at the foot of the mountain. Above it, the cliffs rise 1,000 feet.
Then dismay takes them, for guarding the gate is a wolf.
How?
Larger than any that walked the world.
His name was Karkaroth, the Red Maw, fed on the living flesh of mortals before the feet of the Luvatar.
The fires of hell burned within him, and he was tormented with an evil spirit.
Karkaroth espies them from afar. Yet, as they approach, he draws near with menace, sensing something strange in their scent.
Suddenly some power seizes Luthien, and she stands forth, small before the might of Karkaroth, but radiant and terrible. Oh, woe-begotten spirit, fall now into deep oblivion, and forget for a while the dreadful doom of life.
Then, Beren and Luthien fly through the hall and down the ridline stairs of Angband. In the nethermost hall of that dread keep, they come at last to the throne of Morgoth. It is upheld with horror, lit by fire, and filled with weapons of death and torment. Are you ready? Morgoth's eyes light up when he sees Beren and Luthien.
You have no idea how few visitors we get.
Beren stares at Morgoth. He is not what he expected. Morgoth, I have come to claim a Silmarillion.
Oh, yes, I know all about your little scheme. Too good. And all for love. How poetic. Yes, I think it's John Breton.
Come forward, Beren, son of Beren here. Yes, just like your handsome father. Shame I had to kill him. I must admit I start to salivate at the thought of your head mounted on my ramparts. Why, it'll be the best my fortress has looked in years.
Yes, on to the main course. Luthien, daughter of Thingol, fairest creature to ever walk the world. I'd like to see what's underneath that robe.
I don't want to frighten her. No. I promise to always treat you with respect and be faithful to you.
Blah. Yes, you get the picture. We are to be betrothed. Didn't my wolf tell you? Oh, wait, he's a wolf. Aren't you excited, my dear?
Well, I suppose we'll have to turn that frown upside down now, won't we? Guards, bring the girl to my dungeon. Oh, and feed the man to my wolf. He missed his dinner tonight.
Good moment, Your Highness, if I may.
Of course, my delectable little elf.
I would like to sing something in celebration of our upcoming matrimony.
Wonderful. Let's hear it.
My mother taught me the song. May you like it well.
Quietly, Luthien dons her dark cloak. Guards drop to the floor in a deep sleep. Beren does as well. Morgoth's head droops in slumber. Suddenly, the Silmarils in his crown begin to blaze a bright white.
Luthien and Beren run from the hall and make their way towards the bridge, but in their path is the great wolf, Karkaroth.
Get you gone and fly, for here is a fire that shall consume you and all evil things. Karkaroth flinches, then springs forward and bites Beren's hand off at the wrist. Beren screams. Karkaroth howls as the Silmaril on his belly burns horribly. From behind them, they can hear all the Mangban stirring. Hundreds of feet pound on the ground.
Wait, are you okay?
Yeah, fine. Why?
Okay, I just didn't know if you're about to,
I'm okay.
Okay. So, is this the end?
No, it's not. I promise.
So how do they escape?
The eagles.
Oh no, not the eagles again!
What's wrong with eagles?
Nothing's wrong with them. You just use them often.
What? I do not. Okay, maybe once or twice, but Ronald, the king of all eagles, flying high above Angband, perceives the madness of Karkaroth, and so circles closer and closer to the ground. Seeing Beren and Luthien, he swoops swiftly down and lifts them from the earth.
Go on.
Thorondor bore them into the clouds as fire and smoke bellowed from Thangorodrim, the mountain of Moria.
He took his way far above the earth, seeking heaven, where the sun day long shines and the moon walks amid the cloudless stars.
Thus they passed swiftly southward, over the wastes of Amphopolis and the plain of Nargothrond, until Thorondor set them down on the edge of Doria, near Luthien's home, Menegroth.
Huon met them there, and together with Luthien, they tried to heal Beren's wounds. Long Beren lay, and his spirit wandered upon the dark borders of death.
Then suddenly, when their hope was almost spent, he woke again and looked up, seeing leaves against the sky. And it was spring again.
He was drawn back to life by the love of Luthien, and together they walked in the woods, and he was content.
For a time. Huon often sat by Beren's side. One day, he spoke for the second time.
From the shadow of death, you can no longer save Luthien. For by her love, she is now subject to it. You can turn from your fate and stay in exile, seeking peace in vain while your life lasts. But if you will not deny your due, then either Luthien, being forsaken, must assuredly die alone, or she must, with you, challenge the fate that lies before you. Hopeless, yet not certain.
it's time to go.
To where, my love?
To your home.
My home? I have no home but with you. If ever I did before, I have forgotten
It
it.
is not fit that you should live always in the woods. You are a princess.
Yes, a princess of moonshine, of golden flowers, of the leaves upon the light of the trees, of the shadow of the twilight.
I swore an oath.
After all this, your honor is still more important than me.
Don't you see that all this is for you?
All what?
Everything. The oath, the fighting, the war.
Explain how that's for me.
Are we Beren and Luthien, or Ronald and Edith right now?
Both.
Okay, well, neither Beren nor Ronald could be with you without going to war.
Beren, I understand a little, but he's fiction. You actually left me.
I left for you.
If you were leaving for me, you wouldn't have left.
What was I supposed to do? How could I watch my friends leave and die and do nothing? How could I look myself in the mirror and...
Gavin, it wasn't for me.
Edith,
What? You said it yourself. You went to war to be with your friends and to not look like a coward. You didn't leave for me.
you're right. I didn't leave for you. I'm sorry.
Me too.
But Beren is my way back. I didn't know that before, but I do now.
Okay. So where'd we leave off?
Beren and Luthien come before Thingol, Luthien's father.
You dare approach my throne after entreating my daughter to disobey my will? How dare you? Have you come to beg my forgiveness?
I return according to my word.
Your word! Your word means nothing.
My oath is fulfilled. Even now, a Silmaril is in my hand.
Show it to me.
It is not here.
Can you have lied?
It is in the belly of the
Guards!
beast, the great wolf Karkaroth. Call me now Beren or Camion, the one-handed, though you may think me Cam-lost, the empty-handed.
Guards!
But it was not by my will alone the Silmaril was claimed. It was your daughter who overcame Morgoth and his host. I owe my life to her.
Luthien, is this true?
Yes, Father, it is true. Beren's hand was lost protecting me. Father, I left of my own will. Please, forgive him.
Then it seems that I misjudged you, Beren, son of Barahir. I yield my will. If she will have you, my daughter is yours.
I will.
And let all enmity between us be forgotten. Danuvia.
Let it be known to all that Beren, Camion, and Luthien are wed!
Suddenly, a door bursts open, and a guard enters in a rush. My liege, a fell wolf, has been spotted to the north. He is making great haste toward our hall, laying waste to all in his path.
Why can't it just end here?
My doom has come at last.
No.
Beren stood beside Thingol. I will join you in this hunt.
Ronald, why can't it just end here?
This is not the end. Beren and Thingol prepared.
But please, please. Okay, it's not going to end here.
No,
Okay. Father, I beg leave to fight as well.
Luthien, war is a man's game, you must say.
Father, please. I think I have proven...
Luthien, my word is final.
Father?
Guards, escort my daughter to her chamber.
No.
We will return. I promise, Danuvia. So begins the hunting of the wolf. In the morning, we ride forth and pass over the river Esgalduin. Huon joins us there. At last, we come upon Karkaroth the wolf, drinking madly to quench the fire in his belly. Karkaroth watches our approach, but he slinks aside and hides himself in a deep brake. We set a guard around the place and wait. Shadows grow long in the forest. At dusk, Huon is missing. As we call for him, a great bang awakes in the thicket. Karkaroth bursts from the thorns. I stride before him, spear in hand, but Karkaroth swipes it aside and bites at my breast. Huon leaps upon the wolf, and they fall fighting. The sound of their struggle is calamitous, with the howling of the wolf and the baying of the hound. And the howls of Morgoth was the malice of Karkaroth, and malice crueler than teeth of steel. Suddenly, a whine splits the air. Huon has slain Karkaroth, but he has taken hurt from the wolf's fangs. The poison of Morgoth overcomes him. He comes and falls down at my lap and speaks for the third and final time. Farewell, is all he says. Thingol cuts the Silmaril from out of the wolf's belly. He places it in my hand. Thus is my quest achieved, and my due full wrought. They bore Beren or upon a bier of branches, with Huon the hound at his side. Luthien met them, walking slow, at the feet of Hirulorn, great beech tree. There she set her arms around Beren, and bid him await her beyond the western sea. But the starlight was quenched, and darkness had fallen even upon Luthien to Nubia. Thus ended the quest of the Silmaril.
No! No. That's not the end.
What do you mean? Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. What happened to Luthien?
Darkness befell her, and she fell
You can't just say darkness befell her and leave it at that.
Okay, darkness befell her, and she fell into shadow.
Wrong. That is just totally wrong.
What do you mean it's wrong? It's my story.
No, it's our story. So I can say when the ending is wrong.
Fine. Go ahead. See if you can do a better one.
Okay, I will. Back to Beren marrying Luthien. Let it be known to all that Beren and Luthien are wed. Okay, we cut to the my liege, a big scary wolf. Father, I beg leave to fight as well. We will come back, I promise, Danuio. Okay, we cut to we go out and fight. Huon meets us there, and we journey into the forest. After Luthien donned her cloak and everyone in the hall fell asleep. So Luthien woke Beren. Luthien woke Beren, and Luthien woke Beren, and then went to fight. When Huon met them there, they journeyed deep into the forest. Karkaroth saw them and hid in the bushes. As they pass, Karkaroth leaps upon Beren. Huon knocks Karkaroth down. The sound is calamitous until Luthien speaks a word of peace and Karkaroth is still. Karkaroth's spirit leaves his tormented body, and they take the Silmaril, bring it back to Thingol, and Beren and Luthien live happily ever after.
It's not right.
Why? Because there's not enough death and darkness?
No, because it's just not right.
What's wrong with the happy ending?
Edith, it's not a happy ending.
Well, it's the most happiest ending that could possibly be.
Edith, it's not. Beren is a man. Luthien is an elf. She will grow old and die. She will grow old and watch Beren die. She will watch her children grow old and die. Beren has to die. It's the only way to properly end the story.
Okay, fine. Beren dies.
Great.
Great.
Really?
Really?
You're not going to put up more of a fight.
Nope. Beren dies, and Luthien fades into shadow.
Okay, great. Thank you.
That's not the end.
Edith.
But the tale of Beren and Luthien does not end there. Luthien's spirit followed Beren to the underworld.
Edith.
Luthien's spirit followed Beren to the
The
underworld.
halls of Mandos.
Luthien's spirit followed Beren to the halls of Mandos. Beren's spirit waited there, unwilling to leave the world until he said his last farewell to Luthien. She could see the others there, waiting in the shadow of their grief. But her beauty was more than their beauty, and her sorrow was deeper than their sorrows. She found Mandos sitting deep in thought. Mandos, my name is Luthien, daughter of Thingol.
Sweet child, what brings you to this desolate place?
My lord,
I see grief upon your face.
I come to beg release of one near to my heart.
Dear child, do you know how old I am?
No.
I am older than death itself, and in that time I have heard countless pleas and answered none. I cannot give you what you seek.
But the one I seek is a man of great deeds. He stole a Silmarillion from Morgoth's crown. His name is Beren.
I know of whom you speak, and I say, there are many in my hall who are called great, but still, they may not leave.
Please, I beg of you.
Do you not see the others grieving around you? They have come with the same purpose. What makes your griefs greater than theirs? Never before have I been moved to such pity, nor do I think I will be after. Because of your troubles and great sorrow, you may be taken to Valimar, released from this hall. There you will dwell with my kindred until the world's end, forgetting all griefs your life has known. Thither Beren could not go. The other choice is this. You may return to Middle-earth and take with you Beren. There you will dwell again, but without certainty of life or joy. And you would become mortal, even as he is. Ere long, you will leave the world forever and become only a memory and a song.
I choose the doom of mortality. I forsake the blessed realm. Whatever grief may lie in wait, I will share that fate with Beren, my beloved.
You have chosen well. Tenuvia.
Beren.
Beren and Luthien lived out the rest of their lives together. There was not always peace, and there was not always joy.
Finally, their last days came. Together, they took their final breaths.
None saw Beren and Luthien leave the world, or marked where at last their bodies lay.
But somewhere beyond the confines of creation, they are together still. What will you call it?
What?
The story.